Alright, hey guys, this is a video on the solutions for the Activity 8 review. Alright, so first we're going to start with numbers 1 through 4, and with this one you're determining if JK and LM are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So let's start. Number 1, we first need to find, to determine if two lines are parallel or perpendicular, we can compare their slopes. So let's find the slope of JK and find the slope of LM, and then we can see what they look like. If they're equal, then they'll be parallel. If they are opposite reciprocals, they are perpendicular. So for number 1, we are going to just plug these points into the slope formula. So MJK is equal to 4 minus 9 over 7 minus 1. And that just simplifies to -5 over 6. And that's as far as we can go with that one. So -5 over 6. For LM, we've got 1 minus 13 over -2 minus 8. Okay, and this will give me -12 over -10, which simplifies to 6 over 5. Okay, so JK has the slope of -5, 6. LM has the slope of 6 over 5. Those are opposite reciprocals to each other, and they also multiply together to get -1, which are both tell us that they are indeed perpendicular. So answer number 1 is perpendicular. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for numbers 2, 3, and 4. All right, the slope of JK in this case is 6 plus 5 over 2 minus 13. So this is going to simplify to 11 over -11, which of course will give us -1. So for LM, we've got -2 plus 5 over -4 plus 1. That's going to give me -3, or excuse me, it's going to be +3 over -3, which again is -1. So since the slopes are equal, they're both -1, this is parallel. Those two are parallel. All right, number 3. We're given our slope for JK is 1 plus 7 over -4 plus 10. Simplify 8 over 6, which simplifies again to 4 over 3. So we work on the next one right here. For LM, we've got -2 minus 2 over -6 plus 3. -2 minus 2 is equal to -4. -3 plus -6 plus 3 is -3. And if you have a negative on top and a negative on bottom, that's simple. Those negatives cancel each other and you're left with a positive number. So MLM is just 4 over 3, and these are parallels because they're equal. They both have the same slope. All right, number 4. Slope of JK equals, so we have -2 plus 2. All right, we have the same y coordinates. So let's think about that for a second. We can plug it into our slope formula. I get -2 plus 2 over 3 minus 11. So MJK is equal to 0 over, what is this, -8. So I know for sure if 0 divided by anything is going to be 0. This means that my line is a horizontal line because horizontal lines have a slope of 0. We know that from our notes. So if I find that LM is vertical, then they're going to be perpendicular. So what we're going to do is we'll again find the slope and see if we end up having something divided by 0, then that means that our slope will be undefined. So let's check it out. The slope of LM is equal to -2 plus 7 over 1 minus 1. Oh, would you look at that? That means we're going to have a 0 in the bottom. This is 5 over 0. So our slope is undefined. Okay, which means that's a vertical line. So horizontal lines are perpendicular to vertical lines, so these are perpendicular. Okay, now number 5 and number 6, you probably won't see one like this on the test, but they're still kind of useful to think about, okay? And actually, for the sake of the length of the video, I'm not going to work those out because I don't want you to have to worry about them studying those for the test. Okay, now for this, write a linear equation to represent the line shown on the graph. So linear equation, that's just an equation of a line. And we want this in y equals mx plus b. Okay, so remember m is just the slope, and we know how to find the slope on a graph. And the b is just the y-intercept. So we know how to find that on y-intercept is just where the line intersects the y-axis. So if we find those from the graph, we have our equation. So first I'll start with the slope. I'm going to do I can tell it's a positive slope. Okay, so I know my m is going to be a positive number. So I'm going to do my rise over run. If you can tell, I go, give me a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, I go for my rise. I go 4 in the y direction, and then 3 in the x direction. So my slope is just positive 4 over 3. So now I want to find b, which is my y-intercept. So the y-intercept, remember, is just where the line intersects the y-axis, and in this case it intersects at 0, -2, and that y-coordinate, -2, will be my slope, my b. So my equation, my line is 4/3 x minus 2, and that's my answer. Okay, next. I can already tell from the beginning what b right here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now my slope. This is it's a negative slope because it's when we go from left to right, our line is falling or going down. All right. So let's do the rise and the run. The rise is 2. The run is 4. Okay. So the slope is going to be -2 over 4, but we can simplify that, right? That'll simplify to -1/2. Remember, we want to make sure we're simplifying to the simplest form as possible. Okay, so my m is equal to -1/2. So my equation of line in slope-intercept form is y equals -1/2 x plus 5. Okay, next. I have a vertical line. Vertical lines have a very special type of equation. If we remember our acronym thing, Hoy-Vux, the Vux tells us that a vertical line has undefined slope, and it has an equation written x equals whatever the x value along our line is. Okay, so I know x equals, and then I look at my graph, and it intersects right here at -1. My x coordinate is always -1 along this graph. So that's where our line has the equation x equals -1. And that's it for that one. Okay, moving on. So now we want to determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay, so to do that, what we're going to do is look at their slopes. And this time we're going to do slope a little bit differently, right? We're going to, on the front of your review, we found the slope using the slope formula with 2 points. Now, you can also get slope, just pull slope off from an equation that is written in slope-intercept form. Because slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, if we see it written that way, then we could just say the number that's being multiplied by x, which is m, is going to be our slope. And then we can compare them that way. So if we're given a line that is not written in slope-intercept form, your first step is always going to be to convert it to slope-intercept form. So for instance, number 10 right here, we have this line 10x plus 5y is equal to negative 5. What we want to do is put this in slope-intercept form first, and then we'll be able to tell our slope from there. So to get, all we have to do to get this in slope-intercept form is to solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. This leaves me with 5y is equal to negative 10x minus 5. Okay, then y is still not by itself. I want y equals mx plus b. So I divide both sides by 5 to get that y is equal to negative 2x minus 1. And that means my slope for this one is negative 2. The slope for our other one, already in slope-intercept form, is negative 2. So, since they have the same slope, they are parallel. Awesome. Number 11. Okay, both of these are not in slope-intercept form, so we will convert them real quick. Subtract 4x from both sides, you get 5y is equal to negative 4x plus 10. Divide both sides by 5, y is equal to negative 4/5 x plus 2. Okay, so 4/5 is our slope. Now this one again, 5x minus 4y is equal to 28. We're going to subtract 5x. That'll leave me with negative 4y is equal to negative 5x plus 28. Okay, so then I want to divide both sides by negative 4. Y is equal to negative 5/4, negative 5 over negative 4 x. And then since we're subtracting 4, we will, since 4 was negative, excuse me, this is going to become now a negative 7. All right, now I can simplify this even more because this negatives cancel out, so this will leave me with y is equal to 5 over 5/4 x minus 7. So our slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other, and this means that they are perpendicular. Awesome. All right, so we're going to make this a minus as well. So x minus 3y is equal to 15. We want to subtract the x over, we get negative 3y is equal to negative x plus 15. Divide both sides by negative 3 to get that x is equal to, so this is going to be negative 1 over negative 3. So that'll be just 1 over 3 because those negatives cancel out. And then divide 15 divided by negative 3 to get a negative 5. So my slope is 1/3 of this line. Okay, slope of this one is negative 3. So that means that they are opposite reciprocals and they are perpendicular. All right, I have equations y equals 5 and y equals negative 1. So both of these are horizontal line based on the Hooy-Vaux thing. So horizontal has a 0 slope and it's y equals. Two horizontal lines are parallel. Okay, awesome. Now for 14 through 17, I've got, what we want to do is write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form with a given slope or 2 points. Okay, so if I have my slope and I have my point, what I want to do is just, all I need to do really now is solve for b in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and write what I have what I know so far right now. Okay, I have y equals, I know my m because that's -2, so I can just say y is equal to -2x plus b. Okay, my goal is to find b, and then once I do that, I can once I solve for b and find b, I'll be able to plug that into this equation right here, and we'll have our finished equation of our line in slope-intercept form. So I have this point. I need to use that. Okay, so what I'm going to do to solve for b is I'm going to plug in -7 for x and 13 for y. We do this because this is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate, and if we plug those, and we know that our line goes through this this point, so at some point our line is going to this point you can plug in to get the value, and that's why we're able to use it. Okay, so let's plug it in. 13 is equal to y, so this is 13 equals -2 times -7 plus b. So 13 is equal to positive 14 plus b, so b is going to be -1. Okay, so now that I've found that, I can plug back into the equation, and I get my equation to be y is equal to -2x minus 1. Awesome. Next, 15. My slope this time is -3/4. So I have y is equal to -3/4, -3/4 x plus b. Plug in my points. I have 6 equals -3/4 times -4 plus b. Okay, so when you're multiplying a fraction by its denominator, okay, the denominators are canceled out, and we're left with just the numerator, but then we still have this negative right here, okay? So the negative times the -3 gives me 3 plus b. Subtract the 3 over, we get that b is equal to 3 as well, okay? So my equation is going to be y equals -3/4 x plus 3. Awesome. 16. This time, I'm just given 2 points. And if this is the case, then we have to find slope ourselves. We're not just giving it to us, okay? So let's plug into the slope formula. Slope is equal to 1 plus 11 over -2 plus 5. 12 over 3, so m is just 4, okay? Okay, so I have that. Now I'm going to pick one of these points to use in slope-intercept form. So y is equal to 4x plus b is what I have so far. Choose a point. How about the one that was the smaller numbers? This is -2 and -1. I mean, it's positive 1. So plug them in. 1 is equal to 4 times 2 plus b. So this will be 1 is equal to 8 plus b. So subtract the 8 across, we get -7 is equal to b. So y is equal to 4x minus 7 is our equation. Awesome. All right, last one in this group of problems. Just find the slope again, same thing as last time. So -7 minus 8 over 3 plus 6. M is equal to -15 over 9. This can be simplified. If you take a 3 out of both, we are left with -5 over 3. All right, so now we plug that into our slope-intercept to get y is equal to -5/3 x plus b. How about we choose 3 and -7? So -7 for our point we plug in, and then we have -5 over 3 multiplied times 3 plus b. The 3's will cancel because we're multiplying a fraction by its denominator. So we're left with -7 is equal to -5 plus b. I'll add 5 to both sides to get that b is equal to -2. So my equation is y equals -5/3 x minus 2. Okay, almost done with the whole entire worksheet. Write a linear equation in slope-intercept form with the given information. So I know it passes through the points 6, -6, -1, and it's also parallel to y is equal to -2/3 x plus 1. So it's parallel to my line that I'm trying to draw right now. It's parallel to this line. Okay, that means that the slopes of these two lines will be equal. So the slope of this line is -2/3. So that means that the slope of my line, the parallel line, is the same thing, -2/3. So I have my slope now. Now my next step is going to be to find b, of course. So I guess plug it into slope-intercept form. We get y is equal to -2/3 x plus b. My point I want to use to find b is -6, -1. Plug that into our equation we have so far to get -1 is equal to -2/3 times -6 plus b. -2/3 times -6 is going to equal +4. So -1 is equal to 4 plus b. So subtract 4, we get -5 is equal to b. So my equation is y is equal to -2/3 x minus 5. And that's it. Okay. Now we've done parallel. Now let's do perpendicular. So number 19, our equation passes through -2, -11, and is perpendicular to this line, y equals -1/4 x plus 2. Remember, all I want, if I know it's perpendicular, so my line is perpendicular to the line given right here, which has a slope of -1/4. So I know that my line is perpendicular, so it will have, its slope will be the negative reciprocal of this -1/4, or the opposite reciprocal. So the perpendicular slope will be just +4. Right? Flip 1/4, you get 4/1, and then it's a positive number now. So my equation so far is y equals 4x plus b. Alright, so I'm going to plug in my point -2, -11 since my line passes through this. So -11 equals 4 times -2 plus b. So -11 is equal to -8 plus b. Adding to both sides, we get -3 is equal to b. So my line is perpendicular to that line given is 4x minus 3. And that's it. I'm going to skip 10, 20, so don't worry about that one, okay? And that ends the video now. I hope this helps. If you have any questions while you're studying for the quiz tonight, it's tomorrow, shoot me an email, okay? And thanks for watching, guys.